As a business, you're going to have to deal with several of these type of issues. So I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about them and, basically how I go about doing it in business. Right? So, story time. Back when I was driving tanker trucks, I was driving one of the trucks, and then all of a sudden we had this issue. I was empty the first time it happened. Let's see the stack of cash. What's up, Joey? This is worth a lot of money. Well, this one isn't, but the one I just put in was worth a lot of money. So I was driving my tanker truck and trailer. I was empty, but I was heading to the terminal, and then I went around this corner, and then all of a sudden this power steering was like you could not move the power steering, and it was like push the clutch, slam on the brakes because I could not turn the thing. And then so I was able to, all of a sudden then it loosened up and I was able to go, right? And I immediately called my boss and I said, hey man, I just had an issue with the truck. The steering was, something happened, like I was turning and then all of a sudden it was like rock solid, but it seems to be working now. And he's like, okay, go ahead, keep rolling, just go through your day. I'll look at it when you get back, and when you're driving tanker trucks, I mean, that's a serious thing. When you're hauling 10,000 gallons of gasoline, you want to have 100% steering 100% of the time. And so I brought the truck back. He took it for a test drive. It didn't even act up once. And he's like, oh, Brian, it must be operator error. I'm like, that was not operator error. I'm telling you. It's like I hit a solid wall, And anyways, I kept driving the truck, no issues. Another week later, same thing. That time I was loaded though, and I was like, and trying to rev the truck up and get it to go, and it was not having it. And then finally, all of a sudden, it worked. One second, let me keep up with these comments. What's up, Jacob? What's up, Andrew? Did you have to pay for gas back then, or did you get the hookup? I never got to hook up with that company. They never gave me any hookup at all. I basically had to pay them to drive their trucks, and I had to wash them on the weekends off the clock. You don't need it 100% of the time. Mine are fine not steering when we're parked at the plant. Yeah, that's the good thing right there, Blake. You don't need the steering 100% of the time, but when you're driving a tanker, you need it 100%. And so here's the story on the International. I bought the International. Everything was great. And I was like, I got this bright idea. I'm going to do some preventative maintenance. This reservoir is cracked on the bottom, had a small, just teeny crack, and it was just barely seeping. I probably could have left it for another 3 or 4 years, and it would have been fine. Probably wouldn't have leaked out enough to bring it down to the low level. But I'm the type of guy, I don't leave stuff like that. Because I'm like, well, power steering, that's a major component. I'm going to replace that reservoir. I'm going to get to that, Blake. I'm going to get to that. And so I replaced the power steering reservoir, and then we had an issue. Like, we couldn't get the reservoir to take the fluid because I had drained it too low. And there was so much air in the line, I didn't know what I was doing wrong. Like, I thought I was putting the wrong fluid in, and then next thing I know, it looks like a banana milkshake coming out of it, exploding like a volcano. And it just happened that I had drained it too low when I replaced the reservoir, because I was like, oh, I'll just flush it too while I'm at it,
Hi.
And then so me and Blake we spent some time on the phone just chit chatting, back and forth, talking about. All right, sit down. Go sit down. If you want to listen to the story, go sit down. Um, so me and Blake were talking back and forth, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm trying everything here, And then finally we figured out it was just air in the system. Yeah, it was operator error that first time. And then after that, we got it fixed. And then it was working great, no noise. And then like a week went by, maybe 2 weeks, probably 2 weeks. And then next thing I know, the driver's like, hey man, it's making some noise. I can still steer it, but the power steering pump seems like it's making some noise, making some vibration noise. I'm like, okay, well, if it's steering good, then, maybe there's just still some air in the line. That's what I was telling them. And that's what our general consensus was. There's just still air in the line. It's still working its way out because it's got the dual steering boxes. So we're like, maybe some air got trapped in, and I didn't know that there was bleed valves on those steering boxes, but I found that out. And then, let's see, Monday, he said, hey man, the steering is not getting any better. It seems like it's getting worse. I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at it. He parked the truck, and I found out that the main line going into the pump was kinked in 2 different spots. And I'm like, this is not right. So I put some zip ties where the kinks were to keep it from kinking. Okay, go find a seat. And so I zip tied it, and the noise went away. The steering was still a little stiff when it was empty, but I had driven it when it was loaded. And I told the driver, I said, hey man, it seems to be fixed. Hey, go find a seat. Go find a seat. Quit playing with stuff. I have that at a certain level because it's blocking the light. So then I said, hey man, just be 100% aware, I think I fixed it, but we're not sure. It seems to be working great, because I drove it around here and it was working great. The noise went away and the steering was fine. It was a little tight when I was just sitting in, just not moving. And I told him, I said, just be aware of it, and on his first load, he called me up. He said, man, this thing is not fixed yet. It's still not turning when it's loaded. It turns fine when it's empty, but when it's loaded, it's not wanting to turn. And I'm like, okay, that right there tells me that the power steering pump has got to be going out. Some of the fluid is like getting bypassed, and it's not going where it's supposed to. That's why he can turn good when it's empty, but when it's loaded, it's not working. So I immediately called up. I told him, I said, hang tight, man. I'm going to see if we can get a power steering pump, and I'll meet you out to the job, and we'll get it swapped out so you don't have to cancel the day. We'll just miss 1 or 2 loads. And so I called up International, and they said, yeah, they make them, but we don't have any in stock. And I said, okay, well, what's the part numbers? They gave me 2 part numbers. So I'm like, okay. And he gave me basically a price too, what they were. And then, so I started calling every single place that I know. Like I called O'Reilly's, I called Freightliner, I called Peterbilt, I called International. I even called Cat because, that's a Cat motor in the truck. I'm thinking, well, it's a Cat motor. They probably have a power steering pump for it, Apparently they don't carry, that's totally somebody else. Power steering pumps are somebody else. So basically what my understanding is they only supply like the long block or something, they don't supply any of the auxiliary parts to the motor. I didn't know that. Just so you know, when you buy a Cat motor, you ain't getting all Cat parts. It's just the main block, and then everything else the dealer puts on what they want to put in it. Cash. Yeah, we paid cash for the power steering pump. And so, anyways, back to my story. I found one online. Nobody had them. And so I called the driver up. I said, "Hey, man, nobody's got them. No pressure. If you do not feel safe driving it, you do not drive it." I told him that. I said, "Do not drive it if you do not feel safe driving it. But if you think it's, if you just take your time and and it's manageable and you can get through the day, I'm leaving that call up to you. I can't make that call because I'm not driving the truck." So I said, "It's up to you 100%. There's no repercussions if you say no, no repercussions if you say yes." I just told him how it was. I said, no pressure at all. If you don't feel it's safe, I do not want you to drive it when it's safe, because I do not want the responsibility of, if you get in a crash, that ain't on me, homie. I'm not driving it. That's on you. And I told him that. I said, and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I can manage it." And he called me back 30 minutes later. He said, I'm gonna go through the whole day with it, and and I said, "Okay, if it's manageable for you, if you can still muscle the steering, I said, if you feel comfortable doing that, you can do that." And then I told him, I said, "Hey, man, I called every single place. There's nobody with one of these pumps, except for Napa said that they were going to call some suppliers." And I'm like, "Okay, sounds good, amazing." And then I found one online, and I immediately ordered it. I put the 2-day shipping on it, extra, and that was like $500, right? And then Napa called me up, and he said, "Hey, man, we got one in California." I said, "Okay, well, I just bought one, but it's 2-day. I just paid for 2-day shipping." I said, "If you can overnight it, if you can contact them and you can overnight that, I will pay the overnight shipping, and, because this is a serious thing. You don't want to be fooling around with power steering. Power steering is a serious thing. It's a major component of a big truck." And he said, "Okay, let me call him." And also said, "Send me a picture of what the pump looks like too. That way, I can look at it and see, if it looks the same on the outside at least." And he said, "Okay." So he called me back and he said, "Look, they can overnight it. Here's a picture." And I looked at the picture. I said, "Well, it looks similar. It's got the same setup. It had this shaft right here that goes into the motor, and basically the same shape." And so I said, "Okay, do it." So I had him do it. I told him I'd pay for it, and so they ordered it. The Napa one got here first. The other one still hadn't even shipped, so I canceled that order, and then just paid I think it was like $500 for a power steering pump. It was $440 for the pump, $130 to overnight that thing. And so, this is the type of thing, you don't mess around with this type of repairs. It's very serious. You get it fixed ASAP. There are a lot of dump truckers out there that something like this, they would just put it off because the driver said he could manage it. That's the type of things a lot of companies will push their drivers, and they'll push them and they'll push them. "Hey, man, you said you could manage it, so manage it, But that is not the right way to run your business, in my opinion. Everybody does things their own way. Low 14.5 5. Dang. I know mine ain't that low, Blake. I know mine is, I think it 20, 25, if I remember right. Dude, I never drive that truck, so I don't know. when you texted me, I'm like, really? You're gonna ask me? Dude, I never drive that truck. How am I supposed to remember that? But I remember when I had that thing floored, the PSI is at about 40. So I was like, probably 30, 20, somewhere in there. Mine's not that low. Mine's 25, but I had to take a look at the manual. Yeah. What's up, wrench in the bolts? So, you know, that's I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that type of thing in business. You know, sometimes it's a repair where you can kind of tell your driver, well, you're just gonna have to work with it. You know, it's just one of those things, like the AC. You know, well, sorry, man, we can't get it fixed right now. Right now, you know, at least in Washington, you can tell them to work with it. In some other states, that's a serious thing. You know, it don't get that hot here. You didn't tell the driver just to muscle it? No, I didn't tell him that. Like, I told him, I said, dude, I'm not driving the truck. I'm not there. I can't make that judgment call. You tell me if it's safe or not. And that's what I said. I said, if you feel that it's safe, you can keep working. I said, if it ain't safe, you park that truck. We'll tow that thing back. You know, that's what I told him. I said, you know, I don't want to down the truck, but I said, if it ain't safe, you better not drive that thing. You know what I mean? And so I just got the new pump put in. I'm thinking, I've never taken one of these apart. This is kind of an interesting setup for a pump. Let's take this thing apart. Let's see if I can see anything out of the ordinary on this thing. Give me a second. So what are you guys up to this week? You guys have been having a good week? One second. I gotta go get these sockets and stuff out here. Yeah, so I just got that new pump in. You can see I got all my tools out here. And I was able to change the direction of that one where this hose attached, Blake. Now there's no way it can kink. Right? I changed the direction of it. Dang! A PS4? Yeah, oh man, I can imagine what a steering gear would be to replace. That would be a pain. Because then you got, let's see, 1, 2, 3 lines going into it. And then you gotta undo this, pop this thing off. That would suck. And then you got the 3 bolts or whatever holding it. And then you got the pitman arm too. Yeah, that would be a pain. The power steering pump on this, I am gonna say, very easy. It's 2 bolts and 2 hoses. So, very easy for that. Let's see, let me put these over here. That way I don't drive off with those bolts on the tire. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, let's take that. I wanted to take that pump apart. See if we can see anything interesting on the pump as to maybe give us some clues what's failing on it. We may not be able to tell. It might just be the gears inside are worn out. Usually that's not what it is though. Usually I would think that it's probably some sort of, that's definitely not that size. Yeah. All right. I'm thinking it's some sort of seal or something. That's what I'm thinking it is. Let's measure 15, 9/16. There we go, 9/16. Do you set an alarm for right when your drivers get there so you can go outside as they drive off and wave and yell, make that money? No, I don't, Blake. Typically, I do wake up when the trucks start, though. I can hear them. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, they're making me money. That's the sound of cash. Okay, that's not going to take that off. Let's do this. Alright, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab my impact and a 1/2-inch socket. Rather have shiny wheels than power steering. Yeah, I bet you would, Joe. Yeah, I would definitely rather have power steering than shiny wheels. I'll be the first one to tell you that. Let's see, this is a 9/16. So this 5/8. Yep, there we go. Let's bust these off. Okay. Alright, I'm going to put these down just in case. Make a mess everywhere. Joe, I'm with you. I had to drive the old International 90 miles home with no power steering one day. So yeah, it's no fun. Yeah, I'd rather have power steering than shiny wheels. Somebody was giving me a hard time saying, Brian, when are you gonna get those? How'd you let those wheels get so far out? And I'm like, dude, they work at the rock quarry every day, man. I'm just wondering how this thing comes apart. All right, 1 second. There's a pin in. There's 2 pins in here. I'm gonna take these out real quick. I can take this apart because I've already put the new one in and it works. Oh man, this thing leaked on me. I think I peed myself. Hydraulic fluid. Hey Brian, it's Jim from Canada. What's up, Jim? Chrome don't get you home, but it does look good waiting on the tow truck. Yeah. Yeah. That's what everybody tells their banker. It looks good getting towed by the tow truck. This tool is so handy. This is for those little pins, and it's reversible, so you can squeeze it and tighten too. Very useful tool. If I was like my grandpa, I would take these pins off and save them. I'm probably just gonna. Come on, you little bugger. Okay, let me get a screwdriver. Actually, this will work. This little pick thing works great for this type of stuff. Come on. Screwdriver would have been better. Okay, let me get a screwdriver. Okay. hell? Tear it down, clean it out, and put it back on. Yeah. I was thinking about saving it for $500. Jeez Louise, this power steering pump is it's a pricey one. Come on, this thing is being a pain. Put these safety glasses on before this thing shoots off into my face. Someone can rebuild it. Yeah, someone can. Not me. Unless it's just a stupid seal. Okay, there we go. Got that bad boy off. There's one more. It's kind of a bigger one. This is one that you got to turn this. Okay, let's do this. This is where this is such a cool tool because you can invert this. You can just invert it. And then it does the exact same thing, but now it's opposite. This is a very strong one. I don't want to break my tool. One second, let's see. Do I have any thicker ones in here? Look, it even comes with an angled one. I don't want to break this thing. It's got these little small ones, yeah. I don't want to break the tip off though, because this one is it's a pretty strong spring. Oh, you booger. Almost had it. Almost had it. Let me get a bigger screwdriver. Something I don't gotta worry about so much. Alright, let's do this. Yep, see it's bending it. It's bending my clip remover. Boom, there we go. Whew. Starting to bend them. That's a strong clamp right there. Okay, this thing's got to just pop off somehow. There we go. Ooh, this is complex in here. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at this thing. I mean, it doesn't. This is so cool how these pumps work. Okay, let me show you how this works. I'm going to take this piece off right here. This is a centrifugal force pump. See those little slots? When this thing's spinning, those slots go out. That is so cool. I'm always amazed at the technology that goes into these. You can definitely tell there's some wear. Let me show you. You can see that ring. See the ring right there? Right here? There's a wear ring right there. It's rubbing on something. If I had to guess what was wrong with this, here's what I would guess. Hopefully flush the reservoir from any metal particles. Yeah. Oh yeah, we flushed it. I flushed it, trust me. I put about 4 gallons of fluid in that thing. If I had to guess, I would say this seal right here looks suspicious to me. This one right here. There's 2 seals there. Whoa, we're losing parts here. There's one fat one and then a skinny one. Looks like it might be worn. Maybe that's worn. You can also if you look closely, also you guys won't be able to see it on the camera, but on this ring, there's definitely a wear line on the top. It's definitely shiny, like it's been rubbing on something. This bearing seems fine. Doesn't wiggle at all. Another thing that's suspect, see this green O-ring? Very loose. Look at that. It just fell off. Very, very loose. You can see it drooping down. See how loose that O-ring is very loose. But all that really does is just it helps seal the pump, but still very loose. These pumps are so cool, how they look. Just looking at them, doing all there's so much machining that goes into these. It's incredible, guys. I mean, look at all the machining they did into that. I see a few scrape marks on it, but it doesn't look like super out of, Another thing that could be wearing out is, but I wouldn't be able to tell you, I wouldn't be able to know, unless I knew the exact specifications. But the inside of this O-ring could be wearing too. Where these little fins right here? These fins pop out with centrifugal force, and that's what pumps the fluid. There could be fluid escaping past those somehow. I don't know. Very cool though. This piece is very sharp. See? I bet you that's it right there. That's it. I bet you that's it. Look, there is actually space in between it this way. See that? I don't think that should be able to be moved like that. I bet that's what it is. After examining everything else, I bet you that's what it is. It's causing it because the power steering worked, but when it was loaded, it didn't have enough force. So this pump got weak because of the space in there, and fluid was bypassing. I bet you that's what happened. I'm no expert, but
What happened?
the power steering pump went bad.
Oh.
Got wore out.
Hmm.
Let me show you how it works.
Okay.
Okay, you see this right here?
Mhm.
See these little flaps in here? See how when you pull them they slide out,
Mhm.
and then when you spin this they go back in.
Hmm.
So the motor spins this really fast, right? And when it's spinning it, it spins it so fast that these little flaps come out. And that's what pumps the fluid, right? That's what moves the fluid.
Okay.
The way this goes like this. Just like that.
Okay.
And then this one goes on here like this. Right? See that?
Mhm.
So then the fluid comes through this side and it's spinning and then it comes out the other side. Cool, huh?
Mhm. But it looks like it's greasy.
It's definitely oily. Boom. There it is, back together. Then you turn this, and you can't see it, but you can see inside of there. See the little flaps?
Mhm. You can see it.
Yeah. Yep. That's how that goes, folks.
What is that? What is that?
And then there's this spring right here. This spring does look kind of worn too. This spring goes up against this. What's your sister whining about? And that goes back together like that. Anyways, that was kind of cool, taking that apart. I always love taking stuff apart, so you can learn how it works. You know, that's one thing me and my grandpa have in common, big time. You know, me and grandpa, I won't forget this. When I was, how old are you?
5.
5? I was probably 8 years old. Me and grandpa picked up it was a Dodge motor. That's all I remember. It was a Dodge motor. It was old. It was rusty. And it was at a yard sale, and the guy was giving it away for free. And Grandpa's like, well, you want to take this motor apart and you want to take it home and take it apart and see how it works? And I was like, sure, Grandpa. So we ended up taking it home, and we busted that thing open. And we found out one of the cylinder walls had a big, massive hole. It was like that big. The cylinder wall had a hole in it that big. And there was a spider in there, which blew my mind. It was a big spider. I could not believe there was a spider in there. How he got in there and how he was living, maybe he was going through one of the valves. I have no clue, but he was in there. And I remember that there was that big hole in the cylinder wall. It was like this big. I mean, it was pretty big. I could stick like 2 fingers through it probably.
What?
Yeah. Me and Grandpa took it apart, and we learned how the motor gets taken apart. Yeah. Yeah, and Grandpa showed me how it works, you know.
Hey, show me how it works.
Yep, I gotta show you how it works, because nobody else is gonna show you. Unless you're paying them money, then they'll show you.
Yep.
That's what college is. You pay somebody money, something you can learn for free.
Yep.
If you want to learn it, you can learn it for free.
Yep.
You just have to look hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lazy, then you can pay somebody, and then they'll just show it to you. You're not lazy, though, are you? No, you're not. I didn't think so. I didn't teach you to be lazy, did I? No. You remember what you helped me do yesterday?
Yep.
What'd you help me do?
I hope to do.
Come on, you remember. I showed you how to do it. What'd I show you? Now you're embarrassing me. What'd I show you? I showed you how to do something yesterday. We drove the side-by-side over there, and I showed you how to do it. What was it?
We were driving the side by side over there.
Remember the chains? What about the chains?
We hooked it up on the hose that goes to the train.
What? No, yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Yesterday. We strapped the machine down. I was showing you how to use the chain binders. Don't you remember? You always, when you're pulling it, it's tightening. Remember now? No, you don't remember, do you? These kids. Hopefully you remember. Are you having fun? Yeah? Oh.
I told Daddy.
Yes, Daddy is definitely greasy. It's blood.
What?
Yeah.
How did
Woo! Just kidding, it's just grease. Or transmission fluid. That's what goes in these pumps, transmission fluid. What's up, Hammer? Just in here, what happened? I just replaced a power steering pump on the International.
Yep.
Easy peasy. 2 bolts,
Easy peasy.
2 hoses.
Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
Who says that?
Yeah, when we were watching the show with the dragon in it, and it had some little small people.
And then these extra bolts, I just keep these because you never know when you're going to need those bolts.
Why didn't you put them in there, Daddy?
Because that's going to get filled up with bolts.
What?
Yep. Replaced the power steering pump. I had to overnight it. Nobody had one, which sucked. Cost me $150 to overnight it. That's the cost of being the boss.
That's the cost of being the boss.
Yep. Can you go put this up there for me?
Yep.
No, where it goes. Put it where it goes. Can you reach it? Come on, just stand on it. Stand on the toolbox. There you go. He's still light enough you can stand on it. If I stood on that thing, it would flip over. Actually, it probably wouldn't, but I'm too fat to be testing my luck.
Here you go, Dad. And here you go.
Thank you. Alright, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, pandemic for the pandemic button.
On the International, the pump started going out as soon as I replaced that reservoir, I think. Who knows, maybe a piece of dirt got in there or something. I didn't notice anything. When I pulled it apart, it looked super clean. Maybe it started going out because I bet you I know what happened. the hose was kinked, and it wasn't getting enough fluid, and then it got hot. And then it probably wore it out or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know. It just wore out. It's driver error. That's what it was. It's driver abuse. That's what my old employer used to say. Whenever something would break, that's driver abuse. That's driver abuse. You guys ever hear that?
What are you trying to do, Daddy?
I'm tightening that. I got this vise from my stepdad. Did you know that? Yeah, I don't think he even used it once. He wasn't the type to ever work on anything. I think he bought it for me. It wasn't brand new when I got it though. Or he bought it for himself and was like, I'm never using this thing. Get rid of this.
No, you can have it.
Yep, he let me have it. I'm gonna go put this in the battery bag.
Yep. Yes, so.
I'm gonna go put this in the big drawer. Brian will show you where it goes. Man, these kids are so smart. They know everything. Here, can you give this to Brian? You know where the screwdriver goes? Yep, right up there. Put it in the one that has the missing hole. Lack of maintenance. Yeah, I doubt that's what it was. I mean, power steering pumps go out, you know. That's just something that happens. But you're probably right. They probably never changed the power steering fluid in that thing. Ever. Lots of companies don't do stuff like that, you know.
Okay.
Thank you. Important maintenance program from the previous owner. I can get behind that, Chris. Owner error. Yeah. Hey, Mason. Hey, buddy. Oh. Say hi, Mason. They can't see you, can they? You want to say hi? Say hi, Mason. Oh, good boy. Yes.
Yeah, he's a good dog.
Can you shake my hand? Mason, shake. Shake my hand. Atta boy.
He can shake my hand. Too.
Sit.
Listen.
Sit. Good boy. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Oh, yeah. You're a good
Listen,
boy.
listen.
What's up, Jeffrey?
Listen. Listen. Listen.
Daddy's giving him attention. He ain't going to listen to you. Yeah. All that transmission. Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, he's a snuggle bug. Yeah, he does love to sleep on the bed.
He loves to sleep on your bed? Yeah. Chuck's working tomorrow? Oh, yeah, Chris. Oh, yeah, they're both working. They are both working. And I work tomorrow, but I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I just bid a job for some land clearing, but definitely not up to doing it tomorrow because I like to spread these things out a little bit. I'm going to put all this stuff away so it doesn't get... Hey, you want to go grab those tools that are laying on the ground over there? Thank you. Yep, both trucks working tomorrow. Both of them are working tomorrow. Check this out, guys. I just bought some of these. These are three-way electrical things. Kind of interesting looking, right? So you do the female adapter goes in here, the male goes in there, and this gets crimped. It's a three-way, all in one. Kind of cool. Bought some of those. Oh, be careful you don't tip that over. Thank you. Thank you. Man, these kids, they love helping me out. Which is good because once they start learning where stuff goes, then remember when Justin said my kids don't get cookies? Watch. Just to give to them for helping out. Here. The one difference is do something before they get a treat.
Hey, Daddy.
1 second. These go in here. Yep, funnels go over here. Oh, I know, Carson. I know. It's not it for nothing, buddy. I know. Set the keys right here. Give me these. Yeah, he would not admit that for nothing, would he? It was so funny. I just kept hassling him about it too. I'm like, 6 drivers, oh, like the emojis. I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Oh man, I could tell he was so mad. Oh, go put this back. Make sure Rosemary puts the other one back too. Put it back on that black plastic thing. Oh, I was trolling him so bad on that, and then you went in, you're like, don't lie, Justin. I know it's true. That was so funny, man. You were right on point. Okay, here you go. Here's a cookie for you. That's what happens when you help Daddy work. You get treats, huh? Is that a good cookie? Wow, look at you, Rosemary. Okay, set those down right there. You want a cookie? There you go. Oh yeah, he's never gonna admit it. Somebody sent me the other day one of his job postings because he's looking for drivers, and I was half tempted to say, hey man, why don't you post something on there for him? Just comment on it. They say something on Facebook or something that he was looking for drivers. I'll tell you what, and this is 100% honest. Within the last month, I've had 3 people, maybe 4 people, call me and ask me if I had openings. I'm like, sorry man, we're all full. I already hired my last guy. Back in June maybe when we hire the night guy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any more tools over there? Is there anything over there? So the other day, is this the one? This is an oil sample right here. This is the training fluid. I'm doing another sample of the transmission fluid on the International for the Allison. Because I messed up on the first one. I did it when it was cold. Go put that on the barrel, please. On that barrel. You remember which barrel, right? Yes, the red one. These oil samples, these things are cool. They cost like $30. I got them from NC Machinery. I got 2 of them. And they're cool because when the vehicle's hot, you just put some oil in it, and then you send it off to them, and then they send you an email with basically a whole breakdown of how the oil is and this and that. I don't know, it's kind of cool. I haven't done a lot of it. Oh, you know it. You know what was also funny? Here, have another half. There you go. You know what was also funny? He said he was trying to dog me about my engine oil, like, oh, Brian, you didn't change the oil for 60,000 miles. Oh, you're horrible. You know, this and that, and saying another. And then he's like, I got my oil tested, and the guy said I could go 50,000 miles, and but I don't go 50,000 miles. And it was funny because he's like 60,000 was horrible, but he could go 50,000 on his oil. Like, dude, come on. You know, it's just so funny. What did you guys think on the pond? A lot of you guys probably haven't seen that video yet. Yep, all the tools are picked up except for my Milwaukee pack out. You know what? I'm just going to show you the new power steering pump real quick. This thing works wonders. Spec in my book says every 2,000 gallons of fuel change oil. But okay. Oh, this way. There it is, right there. New power steering pump. 2,000 gallons. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that wouldn't be very long for oil changes. I go through 2,000 gallons real quick. I mean, I get 600 gallons delivered almost every week. What are you trying to show them? Is that one of your toys?
Yeah.
Is that a car?
Yeah, it's a flying car.
It's a flying car. That's cool. Let me show you guys. One second, let me put a cap on this before I use that. That's 3 trucks plus all equipment. Yeah, but I've only had 2 trucks running like super hard. Like, the 3rd truck hasn't really ran that much. Like, I've done a few things here and there. And the equipment, I haven't really ran that much either. They sip the fuel. They don't drink it. The Mini, I will have to fill that one up before I take it to my job site. I back my milk truck up over there. Here, let me show you. Over there. That's why I buy those. You're driving on somebody's yard, you don't want to get stuck. My driver found out how good those tires are the other day when he started sinking. I was like, oh, you're sinking. And then I was thinking in my head, he's stuck. There's no way he's going to pull out of that. He flipped the lockers on and he pulled right out of that rut. I mean, it was sunk almost to the rim. And it still pulled out with a full load of 3-inch clean. Yeah, it's getting clean. But that's going to be our pond. If I did this sooner, the water level would probably be about right about there. Probably right about there. About halfway up that dirt. But I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and then I decided to do it, and then I'm happy with the way it turned out. It's got like 1.5 feet deep of water right now, maybe 2 feet in some spots. My idea is, once it's full, in the summertime, the kids and me will walk down that log and jump off into the water. That would be kind of cool. So, that would be cool, huh? Oh, let me show you guys the new parking area.
Oh, yeah.
I put a whole bunch of rock down on the new parking area. I can show you that real quick.
Daddy, Mom's coming.
Are you holding Daddy's hand? Yeah. You're So strange. Hey, don't pull my arm down. You can hold Mommy's hand. Or Mason's hand.
Mason doesn't walk.
This is how we're going to park the trucks from now on. So the trucks will come in, they'll fuel, they'll come back around, they'll pull this way and then back up. I know, it looks so much more open over here. It's crazy. Still waiting for this to pack down. That's some big rock. That's the 3-inch clean. You know, it's basically like 4. Some pieces are 4, but typically 3 inches and smaller. But it doesn't have any fines in it. We'll top it off maybe at the end of the summer with some 5/8 minus or something. And so I've determined that it's still not big enough quite yet. In my head, what I've seen so far is this is what I want to do. See that tree right there? I want to extend the parking right to the end of that tree, and that way I can park my old truck right there. They can park their car right there. Boom, boom, 2 trucks, you know. Or I can park my excavator, my smaller excavator, my dozer, my dump truck. Boom, boom, boom. And we can have a whole line of equipment just sitting there. It's gonna be so cool.
And you'll take pictures of it. And
Yeah.
send it to YouTube guys.
Yeah, we'll send it to YouTube guys, huh? Yep. Yep. That way they're just ready to rock and roll. I had to do it so they were facing forward. Okay, let go of my pants. You're gonna pull my pants down. I don't have a belt on. Why does this hood look like it's popped up? Yeah, it's still on. It's just twisted because of it's sticking up kind of high because it's twisted. It's not 100% level. You can see the back tires. I still need to get a few more loads of rock, but we're gonna wait a few more weeks till we get some more checks in. What do you think, honey? About the parking? You like it? And then I got 2 big burn piles right there. I'm gonna wait till this coming winter to burn those. And then that's gonna be grass back there for the deer. Maybe put an apple tree or 2 back there. Maybe some,
Apple tree? I love apple tree.
or some other
I love apple.
type of fruit trees.
Cherry tree?
A cherry, yeah, 2 cherry trees. Who knows?
Or a plum tree?
A plum tree. Yeah, we can do a whole bunch. I don't care what we do, as long as we get some.
Oh, pineapple tree?
Pineapple tree. I don't think we can grow pineapples in Washington, son. So, there's my truck. Got it all ready to rock and roll. VANDUYN dump trucking. Did old Bury Brush sell dirt? What? What does that even mean? I didn't sell any dirt. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you guys watched any of those short videos, did you guys see that short video of me showing you where the house was gonna go? That was basically me standing up near that boat facing that way. Man, it has changed so much. This is just incredible. It's gonna be a cool pond.
Yep, and cool water. from.
Oh, honey, did you get those seeds? Sweet. Okay, that's what we can do right now. I had her get a whole bunch of like wildflower seeds. We're gonna plant a whole bunch of wildflowers over here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be freaking cool.
Yes.
Now's the perfect time to do it
Ooh.
in April. So
We have to move. That's the first Scooby-Doo. The first Scooby-Doo.
what do you say?
The first Scooby-Doo that says, yippee-yoo.
Woo! He's watching too much Scooby-Doo. One thing I really want to do is I want to paint the VANDUYN in black. That way it stands out a little bit better.
Oh,
I mean, you can see it pretty good, but in the videos you can't really see it.
on the blue and orange.
No, not blue and orange. Everything else is blue and orange. Silly kid.
Not that dump truck.
Oh, it's gonna be blue and orange though. We're gonna get that sucker painted this year, probably. End of summer, probably. Depends on how things go. After the house? Did you hear that, guys? You guys are gonna have to talk to her. That truck needs to get painted for the house.
The butters in there.
At least the bed, yeah, at least the bed. The bed's got to be gray. Because that red is just, I don't know. I mean, it almost doesn't look red right now. But I'm not a big fan of the red. Sorry, not my thing.
Rob is a big fan of the red.
Huh?
Rob is a big fan of the red.
Rob likes red? Big red? Maybe that's what we'll call this truck, Big Red. Is that a Clifford? We call it Clifford. Big Red. Clifford, the big red dog, you know, Clifford. We can call that truck Clifford. I haven't thought of a name for the new truck.
Oh, yeah.
I know we were calling the orange one Orange Peel for the longest time.
Oh, blue peel.
Blue Peel. This kid, he's such a character. Are you a character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this ninja. This ninja's blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you like blue, Daddy.
I do like blue
And orange.
and orange.
And we got the orange 2-box.
Yep. What are you looking for, Mason? You smell something?
Smells food. Oh, it smells like someone to eat.
He better not be peeing in there. What's up, Evan? How you doing, brother? I'm just now getting ready to end the live stream, man. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out the update on the power steering. We got that all fixed. I ended up doing a power steering pump on the truck. I had to have it overnighted because nobody had one. Here you go, Mason. Come on, jump for it. Oh, yeah. You guys should have seen that. He was about to bite my finger off. Okay, let's do it again. Come here. Come here. Come here. Ow! Come on. Atta boy. Same old, yep. Doing repairs every day. But that's part of life, you know. Look at that. Cheese with meat. Alright. Catch you guys on the next one.